Hey guys, it's been a couple, 2 or 3, 4 days, I don't know how long, since I've done a video. I've been busy. I took on a job which I typically wouldn't take on, but he was a mutual friend of Tim Dixon's and Primer's Best and mine. A guy we all know, him and Tim's pretty tight, so I done the job for him. I've done the driver's side exhaust manifold gaskets. Of course, every stud broke, all but one. Had a lot of trouble out of one stud in particular, trying to get it out. It was very hard to access. I got it. Everything's good to go. He picked it up this morning. I was tickled to death to see the taillights leaving this place. Don't care if I ever do another one. I told him if he had any trouble out of the passenger side, take that dude to Jackie Jones and drop it off. I don't like doing jobs like that. You run into, just like that one stud, I worked on that thing for 2 or 3 days and really lost a lot of time on it because, you know, I can't really charge what I'm trying to say. You've got book hours. That's what a lot of shops go off of, book hours. Now, it may take less time than that, or it may take more when you run into something like that broke stud that took me a couple, 2 or 3 days to fix. So, you know, it's hard to charge someone for 2 or 3 days of getting one stud out. So anyway, I basically pulled up the book hours. I charged him the book hours, which was way less than what I actually had in it. But again, that's what all your shops do. A lot of people get aggravated with shops. They say, well, you know, it's calling us for the book, but you can do it in an hour. Well, maybe they can, maybe they can't. Just like that, a broke bolt turned into a whole lot of aggravation for me. So you just never know when little things like that come up. So if any of y'all ever wondered why shops charge book hours, not actual hours, that's why. You may come out on top. You never know. But anyway, here's my emblem that I got for chlorine. It's got a little crack in it. Of course, the paint's a little faded. I'm gonna put a little penetrol on this thing, I believe, just to sort of save what little bit of paint I got. When I go to wash, and I'm afraid I'm gonna wash, you know, what little bit of paint's left on it off. So it looks like it was born on the car. I could have bought a new one for pretty much the same money, but I didn't want a new one. I wanted an old one that fit the car. You know, you put a brand new emblem on, and it looks like crap on a white rag. I'll say that just to sort of save some foul language there. But anyway, also I was having some issues with my thermostat housing. I put one on it. It was the O-ring type, or I'm sorry, I didn't put it on. That's what was on the car. Took it off. It was leaking. I put another thermostat housing on it. I had my factory heat gauge that works off the wire. I had it in the thermostat neck, and I had this aftermarket gauge down here, simply because the factory gauge was getting up there a little higher than I liked. So I wasn't exactly sure how hot the car was getting. All it has is a C and a H, and it was kind of flirting with that H a little bit. It never offered to get hot, never boiled over. I drove the car through a parade. I've drove it quite a bit, and anybody that knows me knows that I don't let grass grow under these things when I drive them. I drive them like I stole them. You know, I'm not out here driving recklessly, don't get me wrong, but I don't cut them no slack. I drive them just like they're my daily drivers. I don't baby them around. So that's what I'm getting at. So anyway, I put an aftermarket set of gauges in it just to kind of monitor everything. I didn't hook the oil gauge up just because the gauges I bought came with the little plastic line. I don't like them. So here are the gauges. I painted them just to kind of make them match the car a little bit. I hate these aftermarket gauges. I'm just not a fan of them. But anyway, I've started, I've ran it, and just as I suspected, the car is not getting hot at all. It's running 160 degrees all the time, no matter what. So just had to get that off my mind. It sort of worried me. And you know, I like to have a temperature gauge and a gas gauge. The volts, I went ahead and hooked it up, and I'm going to hook the oil pressure gauge up just so it all works. I've actually got a bid in on eBay though for mechanical gauges here. I've got the gas gauge seems like it works, but I'm not real sure. I've got to drop my tank. I know the temperature gauge works, but like I said, it's getting up there a little higher than I like. So I've got a bid in on a set of gauges that includes a clock. So we'll see if I get them. I'm outbid right now, but I'm watching them. I think it's got a day and like 8 hours left. So when it gets a little closer to time, I'll bid again, see if I get them. If I don't, no big deal. These are working. I've also been piddling with my horn. I've got the buttons working out to my relay. The relay's bad. I've got a new relay. I just got to put it on, just hadn't done it yet. My horns are also bad. If you ever want to test a horn, this bracket here, just cut you some, you know, grind it down to clean metal, run it over here, ground it out on your battery, and stick your, get you a piece of wire to run from your hot post to here, and it should blow. If it's this old type horn. Pretty simple to check, but mine are bad. You can see I've got one of them off. It's over there on my bench. I've got to go up to my little honey hole, little parts hole, and grab me a few different sets, and hopefully, you know, 2 of them will work. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on the wagon. I just haven't really had time to fool with it, simply because I've been fooling with everybody else's stuff. So like I said, I got the wagon out of here. I texted the boy. I've talked to y'all. He wanted me to finish up an LS swap on a Jeep Wagoneer. Don't care a bit to do it. That's another one that you just don't know what you're going to get into. You know, everything should be pretty much cut and dry. Shouldn't have really any issues. I believe he spent the money, bought the right stuff, but you just never know. And those are the kind of jobs that some people get mad at you about. You know, when you run into kind of unforeseen things and stuff you didn't really think about, you just kind of run into, and it ends up costing a lot more than what you kind of quoted. I hate giving estimates. It's hard to do that, especially on stuff like this. Now, if it's putting a set of brake pads on something like that, you know, no issues. But when you're putting LS motors in or just building something like this, you don't know what you're going to run into. Rusty stuff, broke stuff, stuff don't work. Anyway, that's where we're at. If he doesn't text me back, I've texted Waylon, friend of mine, Tim's, and Primary's Best. Super good guy. He bought this truck from me, or his son did. I think Waylon bought it, and son's going to pay him back or whatever. But anyway, he wanted me to get it running. He wanted me to go ahead and put a new cam and stuff in it, get it running. I'm a little wary of that. You know, I don't know nothing about this motor. I don't know anything about the motor. The truck's set for a very long time. The motor's not stuck, but there's a little bit of rust in the cylinders. So maybe I can get it running. Maybe it'll do good. I doubt it. He's wanting to put a LS motor in this truck anyways, so I'm going to talk to him, and really it would be better money just to pull the motor out, go through it, check everything, put the cam in it, because just putting a cam and a motor in the truck is hard. It's almost easier just to go ahead and pull the motor out, put the cam in it, stick it back in the truck. And I'm sure everything's going to be leaking on the truck. Oil pan gaskets, timing chain cover, valve covers, whatever. It's probably just needs to be resealed. So I'm gonna see if he wants to pull the motor out, run through it, just go ahead and blow it apart, hone it, re-ring it, put new bearings and stuff in it, maybe throw new oil pump stuff in it, check everything, make sure there's nothing wrong, because I'm sure when they wipe this cam out, it's thrown metal everywhere. So anyway, I think the motor just needs to be gone through and resealed, cleaned up, put back in the truck, or if he's wanting to LS swap it, just go ahead and LS swap it. We'll see where he's at on that. He may not want to fool with it at all, and that's fine. I know Primary's Best has left turn bill. I think he's wanting power steering put on it. I don't know when. Of course, he's about like me. He's not in any hurry for anything, so maybe we'll get around to it. If not, if my book's kind of clear for, you know, the next little while, maybe I'll pull that 69 GMC in here and start piddling on it. I don't know. I've got a lot to do to chlorine here, so I don't really want to get started on anything else. I would love to try to get some of this interior knocked out on this car, especially that headliner. I want to try to do the headliner. Never done a bow type headliner. Watched a ton of videos. Talked to some guys that have done them. I'm pretty confident that I can get it done, but it's a whole lot of real estate in here, guys. That's a headliner. That's a big old headliner. So I don't know. We'll see, but I really like this car. I've got a guy that's wanting it, and I've had several people kind of inquire on it, you know, ask me for a price. I have priced this car. If I sold it, it would take $28,500 to take it. You know, I don't care nothing about selling it. And I don't believe I could replace it at that. It may sound just stupid high to some of you guys, but they're extremely hard to find here in Tennessee. These things may be a dime a dozen somewhere else. It seems like every time I find one, it's in Texas or Oklahoma or Iowa, you know, all the way across the country for me. So again, I don't care nothing about selling it. This guy, he's got enough money to buy any of these cars that he wants. He seems to have taken a liking to this one. He's got an 87 Chevrolet truck that he's kind of wanting to trade in on it. I told him I may come over and see what he's got, but to be honest with you, I think I'm just completely backed out of getting rid of it. I know I'll never replace it. I won't find another one that I like as well as I do this one, because when I was trying to buy this car and I couldn't buy it, I started looking, trying to find one that would kind of satisfy me, and I couldn't. I don't know what it was about this one in particular. It's not the best one out there. I'm sure there's better cars. I'm sure there's cars with better patina, better look, but I just liked this car. It spoke to me, and I had to have it. So here it is sitting in my garage, and I know if I sell it, I'm going to regret it. So we'll see kind of what's in the near future for this car, and we'll go from there. So anyway, the guy's telling you about the Wagoneer LS swap. He's actually calling me now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video off. I appreciate you watching. I'll let y'all know what I'm going to be doing next, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.